All right, I am back. This is Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. This is the weekly video blog called Bullheaded, and this is the season review and preview episode, two-parter, if you will. So this is part two. Hope y'all enjoyed part one. So what I want to talk about in part two is just some of the things that's going forward with the Texans. So we already discussed as far as we already talked about David Culley getting fired and all this other stuff. So obviously the Texans, they're going to need a new coach. Um, and there's a lot of names that's being thrown around. One thing I would say for sure, and I mentioned this in part one, kind of alluded to it in part one, but one thing for sure is this pick. This has to be a solid pick this time around for the Houston Texans. So, like I said in part one, I didn't really feel I didn't really like David Culley as a candidate for this coaching position, given that everything, all the turmoil that was happening at the time, and what was, and the turmoil that was to come for the that we eventually experienced during the season. So I feel like this has to be a solid pick. This has to be somebody Casario wants. There's a lot of names thrown around. Of course, Patriots. That our nickname is Patriots South. So a lot of New England Patriot affiliates have been thrown around. Patriots linebacker coach Gerard Mayo. He's been listed as a candidate, and who's somebody that said that they want to be a head coach apparently. Former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, who just got fired this week. He's been listed as a very strong candidate, and based off his relationship with Casario, from their New England days. Flores used to be the defensive coordinator, or else he was a defensive coach with the Patriots right before he took the Dolphins job, and so I think with Flores, you do get the instant head coach experience. These guys, he's actually coming off of winning seven straight with this 7 or 8 straight. I think it was seven straight, but he's coming off of that huge winning streak with the Dolphins, and he's dealt with drama of his own. The Dolphins, they were openly trying to trade for Deshaun Watson, and with that, he had to kind of you know calm his quarterback reportedly, just tell him like, hey, you're still the QB and all this. All while the owner and is out here talking about this is what we want to give for Deshaun Watson and all this stuff. So, he has a little bit more experience with dealing with turmoil in the organization or controversy in the organization. So he could be a good candidate, definitely. As far as like, I think we should go with an offensive minded coach. Um, and that being said, because obvious, you have a rookie quarterback. You drafted Davis Mills, and he was kind of, picked or thought to be like the quarterback of the future at the time that he was picked. In fact, this is like Casario's first pick. We didn't even have a first and second round pick. So as soon as the third round came up, he was like, Davis Mills. And so, after we got one season under his, or almost the whole season under his belt, you kind of see what he is, and you kind of see what he can do. So, you probably want to, you kind of just want to uh, do something to help him out. Just get him a coach in there to kind of help guide him and still developing him a little bit. So actually segues into my next point. Expect Davis Mills to be the starter going into the next season. All the signs point to it. So it's like, hey, this is who we want. This is who we yeah. All signs point to him being a starter. As I mentioned in part one, he's the teammates, they love him. They adore him. So he already has that confidence. He's showing that, he's, getting on here reporting that, he wants to get all the receivers together or whatever, and just trying to like work on routes and just trying to improve during the off season. And so, that's he's trying to demonstrate, I'm saying, leadership amongst this group, and that's a huge step. That's a very important step to take for a young quarterback, just to like kind of demonstrate that leadership voice within the locker room, so you can keep the respect of your teammates and have them back you up, no matter the cause. Um, First thing though, they must improve the roster around them. So they got to get healthy O linemen in there. They got to do something about this running back situation. Like, to be honest with you, I know people kind of look at running backs as like expendable these days, but I mean, if you're the Texans, you kind of see that they're not. The running backs are not as expendable as you think they are. They need to, go get a legit running back. So I don't know. Maybe you do find one in the draft. Maybe you don't. But you know what I'm saying. Definitely get an upgrade in running back. Better than what we have. Rex Burkhead is cool. He did his thing these last couple games. And they signed him to a 1 year extension. But I definitely think you need to go out and find somebody else to add in this room that you can, if you have to develop a little bit, then do that. But make sure that there's somebody that can actually provide some type of production. Um, and that's one of the key things to do as far as like improving this roster around them. Just improving that running back room to just kind of take the pressure off of them. Because yeah, he's Mills isn't a scrambler at all. So if that defense is coming, they're coming. And so, you want to make sure that they're not, yeah, you want to make sure that, you got somebody that can, like, maybe, uh, just kind of take the pressure off of him. Maybe they're focused more on the running back as opposed to him a little bit more. But definitely do something about improving that running back room and, the receiver room as well. Uh, depending on what we do with Brandon Cooks. I haven't seen his contract, but we do got Nico Collins still, and if hopefully he'll get a good rapport with Mills going, and that'll be what that is. Um, Next season, I do see this Deshaun Watson saga coming to a close. I think that 18 it was I think it was reported that 18 of the 22 cases are either getting settled or they're trying to settle. um that's what I heard, nothing confirmed yet. So um hopefully the remaining will be done, the remaining cases will be settled or whatever, or they'll get to the bottom of whatever they need to get to the bottom of. But hopefully that just kind of clears the way for just for him to get traded real soon. Um, the Dolphins, they said they backed out of they're backing out of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, and so now it's different names are starting to throw around. The Giants seem to be a strong name. That's been a strong name. That's a strong name that's been thrown around. Excuse me, for the last 2 days. So um, definitely that'll be interesting to watch. Um, I think a trade will happen this off season. As like I said, I think those cases will kind of clear the way for some things. Might even get the commissioner to kind of give a ruling on what kind of discipline action is going to be taken, and so I definitely look forward to that. Definitely look forward to seeing that happen, and not just me, but probably all the Texans fans, and we can kind of get from under that particular shadow because it's been going on for like close to a year now. Yeah, I think it was this year, this time last year, this month, last year, whatever. Um, that that the trade was about to happen, or that he first expressed his displeasure with the team. So yeah, we've been dealing with this for over a year. So hopefully that comes to an end with this trade. There could be a concern over time not playing. So he hasn't played in a whole season. So it could be a cause for concern of, is he in shape still? Does he still have the same speed, same strength, and all this other stuff? So it might be something that plays into the price of the asking price of what Casario has. But we'll definitely see. I still think a trade is going to happen, and for what it's worth, I think Casario is going to get the price that he's asking for him. So. The draft is going to be where the Texans really build. So I don't think with a team that's like, I don't think a team with this much these many issues they're getting out from under. Just fired their coach, but ain't no telling who they're going to get for a new coach. So it could be Brian Flores. It could be somebody that's like, just particularly unknown. Um, so it's not going to attract a lot of high profile free agents at all. Um, it's just not. So we'll probably have to go back to the 1 year contracts, or get some of the aftermarket free agents, like we did last year. But with that being said, you know, that's where that's really where the draft comes in. And a lot of people have raved about Casario's draft. He took Lopez last year, took tight end Brevin Jordan. People have they have not been displeased with his draft prospects so far. So he's probably earned the trust of the fans to, like, go in there and just really kind of let's get some more picks in here. Let's see what they can do. Let's get some of these younger guys in here and just see what we can build up with them. So that's definitely going to be something to take place instead of those free agents. Hopefully, we'll trade Watson in time to get some hefty draft picks. Um, Hopefully, it'll be traded by this upcoming draft, and we'll be able to make probably a few more selections that we want to make. We have the third overall pick this year. So that's the positive thing that came out of losing. I think it's our first round pick in a while too. So um, that's probably the only good thing that came out of this season, to be honest with you. So right now, as it stands, uh, they're looking at like a lot of the draft boards. They have Thibodeau and Hutchinson. So Thibodeau from Oregon, Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. They're looking at those two guys, those two edge rushers, uh, to go to go like 1 and 2, pretty much. I saw something earlier today where I think Jacksonville might be going after O lineman, so it's possible either one of these two edge guys can drop down to number 3. But if not, then it's like Thibodeau and Hutchinson, Stingley and Hamilton. I think Stingley's out of LSU, Hamilton out of Notre Dame. Yeah, both of those guys sitting in like a lot of the draft boards I saw had them like interchanged between 3 and 4, and so I do like the idea of being able to land a pass rusher. Let me see. Do, 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 do. Yeah, Hamilton, Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, Derek Stingley out of LSU. So, um, anyway, I like the idea of a pass rusher. I'm not opposed to it. I think for us, it's just best player available kind of deal. But also, I think our secondary, it really needs some help. So Hamilton, safety, I think he might be able. If Justin Reed leaves, then he might be able to fill that void as a another young safety that we can just really develop and make an impact with. Stingley, he might be able to fill a void at corner that we've been kind of missing for a while. We just really been plugging pieces in here and there, but we it's been a while since we actually went out and drafted a legit corner. So I think that'll definitely be something. I think he'll either one of those two guys will definitely be something. uh, we should be pleased with. So anyway, that's all I got with y'all for uh, our, our season look into ahead. That's all I got for y'all for Bullheaded this season. Um, Thank y'all for pretty much watching my bald headed self uh, give y'all insight about my Texans. Until next season, or maybe a couple weeks when something else happens with the Texans, I'll see y'all then. But until then, holla black.